I helped my brother leave his bride at the altar because she invited our mother. We are 34-32, and 28 exile is 30 not in. The US, I have 2 older brothers. This is about the middle one, our parents. Divorced when I was very young due to our mother's insane jealousy. At first my dad was able to handle it, but when she started making comments about me wanting to be like his wife, he had enough. She quickly rebounded with a guy with 2 kids and had shared custody for a while. But when my dad got remarried, she went crazy, calling his new wife every horrible name and claiming he was cheating on her while they were married. I was always closer to my brothers and dad than my mom because she was always very mean to me. Long story short, my stepmom died in a bad car accident, and my dad called her in the middle of the night, letting her know he would pick us up earlier so we could attend the funeral, and she decided to take us on a fun trip to celebrate something. It was the happiest we've ever seen her, and when we realized what happened and started crying, she told us only worthless people cry for WHS. Needless to say, things went nuclear, and my dad asked for full custody with visitation for her. He always left the line of communication open and paid for us to visit her when she moved away, but it was still very bad. And as soon as we turned 18, we started to lower contact with her. Last time we saw her was on my HS graduation, where she made a point of letting everyone who would hear we were ungrateful kids, and her HB would call us bad names to bin. And see, since then my brother Sam started dating his ex 3 years ago. She has heard all the stories and the reasons we are and see, but she believes we are just dramatic. They had many issues due to her opinions, but she eventually seemed to drop the UN need to reconcile with your mother crusade during the wedding planning. There was no indication of things going wrong or fishy. Then we got to the church, and lo and behold, mom, HB, and 2 kids were sitting at front. I immediately panicked and called my brother Sam. Thought maybe somehow she found out and wanted to crash, so he called his ex too. Let her know of the potential drama, but she told him it was fine since she invited them. Sam hung up and asked me to go get him while oldest brother dealt with things at the church. We went home and barricaded ourselves there, even when his ex, her family, friends, etc. came to try and make sense with him. Mom's HB even called and said he always knew we were worthless. Now that the dust is settled, most of Sam's friends are on his side, and so is most of our family. Dad's ex's parents already threatened to sue for the money they paid if he doesn't marry her, but Sam says he rather pay them back for their contribution than marry someone that betrayed him. My nuclear family 100% support Sam, but the backlash has been huge. Edit, you guys just reassured us all. Thank you. Some have commented about it, but no, she has not apologized. She even went so far as to text my oldest brother, Joe, that she thought it would be a good wedding present for my brother to her. Since she values family, my dad bought them a house as a wedding present, but only Sam is on the deed. She did have keys for when they moved there, but they just had the locks changed today, and Joe and some cousins are taking everything. Sam moans from her flat during this week. We aren't worried about being sued, but we'll consult a lawyer just in case. We also heard mom and her family are still in town, but since we are all staying at our childhood home for a few days, we don't care. My dad is sad that Sam is heartbroken, but is trying to cheer him up along with my boyfriend and my still. I had to delete SL, deactivate my SM, because I kept getting nasty comments and messages, but the more people learn the reason Sam run away, the less it gets. I am still sorry. She felt humiliated, but my brother comes first. Edit 2. I asked Joe about the church aftermath, and it was just as I expected it. He says he stood up in front of everybody and told them Sam was not coming and to please go home, and all their gifts delivered to our side of the family will be given back ASAP. The ex was still outside the church when someone in her family informed her, and she started screaming and crying and calling Sam nonstop. Mom tried to talk to Joe, that didn't even look at her, and when she couldn't get a reaction out of him, she started crying loudly and lamenting how horrible we are to her, and some people started consoling her. This is her MO, but Joe and his wife didn't care. When they went out of the church, the ex was expecting them and demanding to see Sam, but Joe said no. Then she demanded to know what to do with at the party, and he said if she didn't want the venue, he would arrange for the food to be donated to the staff there so it wouldn't go to waste. Everybody was screaming except Joe, because he didn't want to give mom the satisfaction. They Joe plus still came home after stopping at the supermarket and some fast food joints, and we have been inside like we are kids again, plus 2 more members. We asked Sam if he wanted them to go, but he said he wanted them there. We had all taken time off to spend family time after the wedding anyway, so It's not a problem at the moment when the ex came to the gate. We knew she was not going to use the venue, so my S called them with Sam's info, told them to take the food, and also sent them some tips for their trouble. It seems we will get back all the alcohol that my dad paid for, so we will have a very drunk end of the year. A couple of people messaged me asking why did our dad ever marry our mom, and the answer is he really loved her and believed she was the nicest person ever. Turns out she wasn't, but she knew nobody except I. Guess her nasty husband would marry her unless she pretended to be nice. He considered staying with her until we were adults, but she kept getting worse. She used to get very nice, and he thought she was changing, and then she would change again. As for my exile, we have no doubt that she believes mom is a nice person that has ungrateful children because she is extremely charming and for some people is funny to make fun of others as long as it's not directed at them, but it still doesn't excuse X. The only person Sam gave an explanation was his boss, who was at the church, but he is very understanding and was pretty shocked of what mom put us through since we are fairly adjusted, happy people are. Dad said that it was a shock for all of us and we can stay home as long as we need. Sam is moving home for the time being. I showed my family the post and they're moved by your niece, but Sam wants you all to know X wasn't showing any concerning behaviors and he truly believed she understood his upbringing. He agreed to talk to her and her parents today, but only if it's at our home and we are there to support him, so it's going to be an interesting visit. Update to my runaway brother for some extra info. Sam lost some money, but it's not going to hurt him. Her parents paid for her dress, a very fancy cake, and part of the honeymoon. X wasn't the most beloved in-law, but we truly belied she loved Sam. We have no contact with mom's side. Joe used to have some with grandma, but after his wedding, another __ show avoided. He cut her off. To mom's comments about me wanting to be the wife came from her belief that it was not right for us to have daddy-daughter days or outings. The thing is, there were also Daddy Joe days and Daddy Sam days. He always tried to spend time with us alone. And as a group, she is just sick. We don't advertise our childhood. So when people ask us about our parents, the standard answer is just my dad, or it's just my siblings and my dad. Most people assume mom is dead, and it helps avoid the whole inquiry about not talking to her mom's stepkids are both male and in their early 30s. Dad has a long-term girlfriend, and we like her a lot. She has been doing her own stuff these past few days, but she says we have her full support now. The update: I was wondering why Sam accepted the meeting after not even talking to her, but turns out she sent videos and photos of all his things on the floor to his best friend Tom and told him that Sam either talked to her or she would burn SL, destroy it all. Tom came to visit. Sam told him what happened, and they informed her they need access to the flat before anything happens. Tom, Joe, a couple of cousins, and my BF went and took his clothes, electronics, important paperwork. Sam said he didn't care about the rest and even made a little joke about them being the fastest moving crew. He knew the meeting was, for lack of a better word, a ridiculous event. She came with her parents and sisters, tried to talk to Sam alone, but when he didn't allow it, she just started talking. Not once did she apologize. She said it's not her fault. We don't understand the value of a real family, and we were raised to hate mothers, that her only intention was for Sam to learn to value mothers because she was scared he would take her children away from her, because that is what he was taught to do. Sam didn't say anything until she threw to this family as like a cult, and you are a terrible father. Looking at my dad, as you may imagine, this is a sore spot for all of us, and we don't allow insults towards our dad under any circumstance. Sam just unloaded about how she was a hateful liar. He was disgusted he ever touched even her hand. He was grateful to the universe that I am chronically early to everything. He told her staying with a cheating husband, as her mom does, is nothing to be proud about. He said she pretended to be nice just so he would marry her. Unloaded all the minor things that he was willing to overlook because he truly did love her, or at least who he thought she was. He said he would never forgive her for the hurt she caused his siblings, but he doesn't hate her because that would require him to spend energy thinking about her, and she doesn't get that. At the end, he said she had enough time to clear things, and since she has acted like a victim, he will be the one to let everybody know why he didn't show. It was brutal but cathartic and necessary for Sam. Her parents said nothing but were very red. She was crying. Her sisters attempted to defend her and their parents' relationship and were kind of expecting my whole family to argue too, but we didn't. Then Sam told his ex Phil he could sue if he wanted, but if he did, Sam would expose all his family's dirty laundry to the world, and he doubts. He wants that amazingly the dad still. Argued Sam could try and make amends and marry his ex because they are not getting any younger and all families. Fight I've never rolled my eyes harder. The rest of the meeting went about logistics for the return of the wedding. Gift already received stopping the harassment from their family, the cancellation and refund of the honeymoon. The changing of the lock's ex just kept crying and trying to talk to Sam, but he was in business mode and didn't want anything from her. He only replied to her directly when she said she was keeping her engagement ring with nobody asked for it. They left without issues when the booze was delivered. Mom and husband sneaked through the gate when we opened it. She said she just wanted to talk to her babe fives, and my dad asked her to leave. She kept screaming he raised us wrong, and we just embarrassed her with our behavior. She couldn't believe we were such bad people, and we should start making amends with her because we clear lack maternal love. She got that right. And this was the pathetic result at that point. Joe went out and told her to leave. Since the police were on their way, she took it as an opportunity to cry. Since it's the first time in about a decade he talked to her and tried to sweet talk him into going to grab dinner with her and her husband, but Joe just told her to leave, and the only news he ever wanted to hear related to her were the ones about her funeral so he could go celebrate. Cue hysterical crying and screaming from the husband demanding an apology and threatening to hit Joe dad. And Joe went back inside and left them there until we saw they left and closed the gate. It is hard for some people to understand why we react like we do. But the things I wrote about our mother are just like the tip of the iceberg. Dad wasn't exactly proud of what Joe said, but he understood he needed to let it out, and he was speaking for all of us. Maybe that makes us bad people, but we truly don't want to see this woman ever again. We are all going to have some family therapy besides our individual one. Sam doesn't want the house anymore, but my dad says to take it slow, and the first step is to mend his heart. We have had horror movies, marathons, and some Disney classics sprinkled here and there. We also had a drama bingo thing going on of all the things that could possibly happen, because I guess we are truly dramatic. After all, we love each other and we raised to treat people well, but we can be petty when pushed. I also feel better knowing she humiliated herself. And while I wouldn't wish to be left at the church to anybody, I would do it again because I love my brother more than I feel bad for her. We will be going on a family trip eventually, but right now we will continue our station to the person that said Joe is a hero. His siblings couldn't ask for a better brother and friend. We've read everything so far. Thank you for letting me vent the awards. The PMS. I am sorry if my English was not up to the standards. Joe and Sam names are obviously fake, but Daniela, go unknow yourself. Little note, my brothers are reading your messages and comments. They want you to know we know how lucky we are. They appreciate the positivity. Want you to know it gets better. Those in the same boat, and you are all welcome to our cult update too. First, more clarifications. If you want a PM is fine, even if it is to insult us. Please know I will only answer in public form. Joe wasn't parentified to the person who wrote me a mean essay about it. Here is the answer. My brother spent time with me because they wanted to. We had special days together or with each other. They did all the activities they wanted, had many friends, went on trips with me or alone, etc. There were nanny's family. My dad, they were never forced to take me with them against their will. They had a lot of freedom within reason. My parents divorced when I was 3, and even if there was shared custody, we stayed 90% with dad, and we never went visit our mother unless we were in at least pairs. The only times Joe or Sam visited her after turning 18 was when I was requested to visit because they didn't want me to go alone. We have all been in therapy for a very long time. We are just having special sessions because we saw our mother, but Joe is the only one that interacted with her. Also, please know we Sam plus I know how to defend ourselves and didn't ask Joe to confront her. He did it by himself. Why did my dad go to the church with Joe? Because he was asked by Sam to go home. We didn't think he needed to see the woman, even if he had to talk to her after Sam has cried. He is not a monster. He is heartbroken. Thought he would spend the rest of his life with Daniela. Thought he was a good judge of character. Thought he didn't have to see our mother ever again. There are many emotions going on, but because of our upbringing, we are very good at keeping our emat, that check-in, front of people we don't trust or like. It was a survival skill we developed to deal with how we were treated. Joe had a relationship with grandma, but stopped talking to her after she invited mother as her +1. There was no religious ceremony. The venue had security, and there was a no entry list. He sent grandma a letter and didn't talk to her again. We also didn't attend her funeral. The wedding was about 250 guests when making the wedding list and sitting. Chart she used other names, which is how. We didn't know about it. Daniela is not Brazilian. My dad requested that I inform you all that his kids are not alcoholics. He is worried about people thinking like it that even if this is anonymous. LOL. Anyway, this week has been really chaotic. Those who said to be prepared for the pregnancy tactic were incredibly accurate. She posted it online. People were freaking out again and calling Sam, asking him if it was true. Sam called her and asked that she deleted it. She continued claiming she was pregnant. He asked her to delete it and to come talk about it. She deleted it, met up with Sam, and somehow this crazy woman thought he wanted her back. I went with Sam. She was very happy until she saw me enter the place. She started crying, holding her stomach, and when Sam asked her if she really was pregnant, she said yes and told him she didn't want her child to be from a broken family. Sam told her they were going to the doctor immediately to know for sure, and she cried even more, screaming he didn't trust her. Long story short, she isn't pregnant, but she posted Sam was forcing her to have an abortion, and she was devastated. As you may imagine, this was a horrible thing to say. People were calling Sam because they are so whiplashed from the drama, they don't know what to believe anymore. When my Anna found out about the posts in the meet, she called Daniela. I am unsure what was said in that conversation, but I also never saw Anna this angry. The posts are down, but Anna wrote an email with all relevant information, including that Daniela was never pregnant, and sent it to everybody in the wedding list. This morning we heard Daniela had a breakdown after leaving voicemails telling Sam if she couldn't be with him, she wanted to die. This is another tactic straight out of our mother's playbook, and Sam simply called the police and told them what happened. Her family forced her into therapy, and she is in observation right now. It brings us no pleasure that it came to this, but we don't want to get involved anymore. We are also changing our numbers. Already requested it. Our mother emailed Anna threatening to sue her for defamation regarding the email blast, but we're not worried about it either. Anna's parents are amazing, and they have made it perfectly clear they are on our side and 100% agree with the way she handled things. Joe was enraged, but Anna convinced him to let it go and simply move on. Mother's husband has been a peach as usual. Dad is considering a restraining order, but they are not great. In our country, we did have a get together at home yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. There was karaoke, dancing, nice food and drinks, games, and bouncy house, because why not? We love them most. People avoided the topic of the wedding and the posts, but those who brought them up did tactfully. Dad had already given away a lot of the alcohol to his employees. They got to choose what they wanted and got a bottle each. He is also adding bottles into his Christmas baskets this year. We're going to spend the holidays together and traveling. I told Sam about the new paint for the house, but he just doesn't want to live there. He will rent it. I made a joke about me simply eloping or not having a proper wedding to avoid drama, and Joe told me in no uncertain terms I get the biggest party ever if I choose to. So yep, he is still the best. Thank you for your nice comments and messages. Not thanking the mean ones, the awards, and the interest. Sorry to the nice Daniel out there. They _ under. It wasn't for you. Holiday update. Thank you for all your interest. You are very nice, and as always, a blast logging and an update you on our cult. First, some points. Hi, best sub and YouTube. You're part of the family lore. Now I do read every single comment, message, etc. Some commented I particularly lacked a feminine figure in my life, but I had my grandma, aunts, etc. My dad's girlfriend Rita is not a mother figure, and I don't feel I'm a bad woman because of it. When I had my period and told my dad, he had a whole thing prepared. Then he informed my brothers, and each had a whole thing prepared themselves. They each had their own approach, and the others didn't know about it. Long story short, I had 3 men taking care of it and doing even a presentation about it. It might sound super awkward for me, but was even more awkward for them. It is a hilarious story and reminds me how much they thought about me all the time. Rita is amazing, and we love her, but she has no problem not being married to my dad. My dad doesn't want to get married again. If he did, we would support him. Daniela is okay. Her sisters tried to make a huge drama and accuse us of being horrible, but after the email sent by Anna, nobody is buying it. One of them was also jumped by her boyfriend because he didn't want to be related to a toxic family. I will not disclose where we live or what our dad does for a living, so please don't ask about it again. We have new numbers, new SM handles, and are planning to move Joe. Plus, I do have a little note with a fake real names relation, and do type my posts in Word. It's mainly so I don't mess up my ramblings. My dad wants you all to know your applications to the Cult have been accepted anyway. I checked the last update and I can't believe it. Was only in early November. I have mainly good updates for you. Sam is doing well. He is taking time off work as boss. Is very understanding about him needing time and told him he can always come. Back there he is still living with dad and his savings, so he is not worried about that aspect. He is running now and has decided to run a marathon next year. He is more and more his goofy self and is doing renovations at home or in other words. Dad and Sam are trying to paint some rooms and do murals. It is hilarious. And they have a lot of fun. Daniela wrote him a letter, but he sent it back. The house was put on the market as a rental, and he is okay with it. I am engaged. It turns out it has been months in the making, and when I made the joke about eloping my future your husband Matt panicked, I discovered the plan. He spoke with Sam, who already knew of the plans, because he didn't want to make him uncomfortable, but Sam said it would actually make him uncomfortable if he didn't. He also spoke with Joe and my dad. My dad made him sweat when he asked for my hand, saying it was not his to give, but they say it was all in good fun. It happened earlier this month. I am very excited, but not as much as my dad. He says he wants to walk me down even if it is a civil wedding. While my news are amazing, I believe the other big news around are better. Joe and Anna have been on the adoption list for a while, and as of a couple weeks ago, H's baby, she is the most beautiful, sweet, best baby ever. The adoption is final, as it usually is in our country for newborn or almost newborn babies. We knew they wanted to adopt for a while, so when they told us about the baby being officially theirs, it was a lot of crying, but happy crying. Dad is in full grandpa mode, and even as bad as some things got this year, this is the best thing that happened to our family. As years, Mom did learn about the baby and demanded an introduction. She has been served our version of an order of protection. She has never putting her eyes on her if we can help it. Those are the bad news due to the new we decided to stay home now with the new we wouldn't travel. Of course, we had a Christmas SLW welcome baby slab show / engagement small gathering last weekend, which Joe and NIE didn't attend since she is too young, but they were there via Zoom. We all agreed to give Sam some goof gifts such as t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, etc. of Julia Roberts, since you know he is the runaway bride of the family. The reason Joe and I are considering moving is that we live in flats at the moment, and we want to live in houses. We are still shaken up, and we know we have work to do, but we know we have so much, and we want to focus on it because the negative is in the minority, and no matter what happens, I'm always grateful for my family. I believe this will be the last update, folks. I know the last ones have been mainly drama-free and might not be as exciting, but we aim for that. Not planning on deleting anything. The account will be here in case something worth updating happens. I wish you all the best end of year and an amazing 2022. 2022 catch up. Hi cult, I guess we should catch whoever still wants to know what is going on with the cult up, not to lose the rhythm for some points due to popular demand. Yes, our native language is Spanish, so adoptions are final in our country done by the government, and we rarely get situations like open adoptions. Joe plus Anna had been on waiting for a bit since they decided that is how they wanted to have kids together. I said Hamas, as in we have, like when they announced the Pope. LOL. We are now 35, 33, and 29. HB was supposed to mean husband, but I love the huge bastard interpretation. It works both ways. Honestly, Joe plus I moved as we planned. Last year, the year has been pretty good. Just minor drama around Danielle can still go _know herself though. Anyway, let's do the kind of bad news first. Daniela came back with a swing we were not expecting. She is pregnant and claims to whomever would listen Sam as the dad. Sadly for her, it is literally impossible for him to be the father since he was not even in the country when the baby would have been conceived, but she had no way of knowing that Sam has offered repeatedly to have a paternity test done, but she refuses. Sam is safe legally. He just feels bad for her baby. Daniela's dad did sue Sam for emotional distress of two of his daughters, Daniela and the one the boyfriend left, but nothing happened since dealt with it. Surprise. Joe is a lawyer. It is relevant info for this catch up. I promise Sam decided not to do anything against him since he has too much on his plate and feels pity for the family. Mother still insisted on meeting baby, but that will never happen. She undusted one of her favorite tactics. She has cancer. She contacted Joe plus Anna through their work emails and begged them to help out with meeting baby since she is so sick, most likely would need a transplant of something, etc. You'll see this is like the 5th time she has cancer, but in reality she has had cancer a total of 0 times. She loves the attention, the suffering, the drama, and all that good stuff. Bad People like to bring out of others. We never believed her, of course, but what we didn't expect was that she would make a fool of herself when she contacted Anna's mom on FB. Anna's mom is a lovely, good Catholic lady, so mother must have assumed she would be easy to manipulate. She told her about her cancer and how heartbroken she was to not meet baby. Anna's mom proceeded to ask a couple questions about the diagnosis and treatment, which made no sense as expected. Then she blocked her and posted the screenshots of her wall. It is like high school drama, only is with older folks, and it has hilarious comebacks. Baby is otherwise very happy, very healthy, and the only controversy regarding her was the question of what would Rita be called, not by Rita, but by our mother, who claimed Rita had no right to be called Grandma Joe. Plus Anna talked with Rita, and they all agreed for all intents and purposes she is Grandma. Rita and mother can do nothing about it. Sam is doing well. He quit his job and started something on his own. He's still living at the family home, renting the other house and kind of seeing someone. She is nice, knows about all the stuff, makes amazing cakes, knows how to knit. We like her, so we are both positive and cautious. They're taking it slow, but is nice to see him with someone like this. He also kept on painting rooms with dad, and the results are, please remember, I love these two, embarrassingly funny, ridiculous, and like something you do in kindergarten's. Dad got coyed first time, and he got so scared he decided to update his will. That's why Joe's profession is important. They wanted Sam and I to know about it when they finished it up. Everything he owns is divided in four. His kids in the other quarter to any grandchildren. However, the family house is not to be divided and is going to be put on my name soonest. I was a bit confused, but Joe plus dad discussed it and wanted me to have it if and only if Sam agreed. He did and is very happy about it. They didn't really offer many explanations other than it was the right thing to do. I sense a little because I'm the baby there, but is okay. Joe bought a house in the same neighborhood as our family home, thus even if they are not in the same block or anything, they're close by. We Matt plus I are not buying anything anymore since I will be getting the house and would make no sense. We moved to the family home and it has been interesting, but nice. Dad has started semi-retirement and spending more days at Rita, so it works for everybody. Sam will of course get to stay there as long as he wants, but his murals would have to go. LOL. We are still engaged, still happy, still enjoying babysitting, and still not pregnant, but got a cat during the spring. We are planning a December wedding and couldn't ask for a better end of the year. So that's it. No drama, or at least not huge drama. We are moving forward and healing continuously, which is the way we like it. In case you wonder why I decided to post now, one of us is a huge fan of Besto of Reddit updates, and we got reminded about the posts anyway. Greetings from the cult, and we wish you all a good last few months of 2022-2023. Catch up. Hello Reddit. First, as it's tradition, we now have two cats. Sam moved in with his GF, and we just love that he's happy again. Dad is semi-moved in with Rita. It has been bittersweet, but overall we remain positive and supportive of each other. Let's do bad news first. It turns out that there was indeed cancer on our mother's side, just not hers. One of her stepchildren actually had it and passed away at the beginning of the year. She is milking it for all it's worth, and we are disgusted by her as usual. While we can empathize with the LW, we are not changing our stance on being NC with her and her whole family. Daniela had her baby, a very cute boy. That is not Sam's. Not that we ever doubted that she did try to make him recognize him and sign stuff, but he refused, and after the test there was nothing she could do. She did lose her _alert when she heard Sam was seriously dating, and ever worse when he moved in with his GF. She still believes he is the one for her and is fixated on it. Tried to cyberbully the GF, but this woman is made of something else. Oh, and yes, the father of her child is the married co-worker in his 50s, which is another _ in her show from what we've heard, but not our Sam. Moved in with his GF. He's still in therapy. We all are, but doing much better. His GF is a very well-liked and beloved member of the family. She understands everything that has happened and integrated perfectly. He is also doing great in other areas, and he did run his first marathon. Not the best timing, but hey, he did it. Joe plus an A plus baby are very happy. They're still on the list as interested to adopt, since they would like to have at least another. When I also wanted to explain something. Again, in my country, the adoptions are not done by agencies. You get on a list after some tests and interviews to see if you're a good candidate, and when it happens that you match, you get the baby. That baby is yours, and that's it. I know I am still a bit vague, but please remember we are not from the US and things are different in each country. Apart from that, baby is just the best. Baby, ever yes, I might be biased, but Aloe gets told no a lot because we all agree that she should not be spoiled or, well, too spoiled. She has a room at our house, Rita, and a playing pen at Sam's because they're looking for a permanent house and they do home office. Dad is basically living with Rita. She is pretty happy about it, and they took a couple trips recently. They love being grandparents and are very hands-on. They now claim 3 grandbabies since the cats sometimes go there too. It is hilarious because my dad was not so warm on the idea of cats at first, but now he even takes photos of all his babies and he prints the best ones because that's what he's used to. He also shares progress updates with his friends, and sometimes they are confused if he's talking about the cats or a baby since he gets so excited about anything they do. And he buys them all too many toys in my opinion, but apparently that's what Grandpa does. LOL, we did get married in December. My dad walked me down even if we did non-traditional stuff for my country. Joe was Matt's best man. Sam was my best mate. He insisted on being called Julio the whole planning process. When it was about the wedding, Mother did try to come and try to convince Anna's mom about it, but she would not tell her anything some of Mother's relatives said. It was undignifying, unsure if it's the right word to have Rita there instead of my own mother, but well, I think it is disgusting to condone her actions, so too. Each their own. We had a blast, and it was not stressful at all. Nobody ran away. Nobody cried of sadness. Nobody tried to make a scene. We are remodeling a part of the house to make it more ours and not to be at my childhood bedroom anymore. But so far, everything is going very good. For the cult, Sam got slightly less Julia Roberts gifts, but he wears his t-shirts with pride all year round. On a last bit, Sam's GF has approached us with the idea of proposing to Sam when the time is right. So who knows, maybe this time he actually makes it to the altar.